Now we'll start with another type of tissue, that is connective tissue. The name itself suggests the basic function of the tissue. Connective means to connect together. So, this type of tissues connect the various structures to form organs and thereby tissue. This type of animal tissue is a group of cells containing intercellular substances that are secreted by cells themselves. In this type of tissue, the cells are widely spaced. Thus, basic functions of this tissue involves connecting the structure to form organs, it also acts as a detoxification substance, that is, which detoxifies or removes the poison or the foreign cells from the body. It acts as a protecting structure or provides a supporting framework to the organ system. It helps in the replacement of old tissues with new ones. These are basically few functions of connective tissue. Now we'll understand in detail. So let us first of all begin with the classification of connective tissue. Now, the connective tissue is basically divided into three types. First, connective tissue proper. This type of tissue denotes or recognizes a part of tissue that connects the body parts together. Second is skeletal tissue. As the name suggests, this type of tissue forms the endoskeleton part, that is the cartilage and bones of the humans or other animals. Third is fluid tissue. This type of tissue is present in the blood and lips of the animal. There are further sub-classifications of each of the tissue, so let us study them in brief, beginning with connective tissue proper. Now, what is connective tissue proper? As said earlier, this type of tissue involves a group of cells that acts as a binding structure of various parts of body together. This type of tissue is basically divided or subdivided into mainly five types. These subdivisions involve areolar tissue, adipose tissue, white fibrous, tendon and ligaments. Let us first of all begin with the areolar tissue. This figure shows the photomicrographic structure of areolar tissue present in the outer layer of skin, that is epidermal and dermal layer of skin. Now areolar tissue is basically made up of cells and fibers. This type of tissue is also known as loose connective tissue because the cells and fibers arranged here are in a loose-like manner which are not tightly bound. Areolar tissue basically consists of two types of fibers, that is white fiber and yellow fiber. White fibers are the cells that are made up of substance collagen, and yellow fibers are the cells that are made up of protein known as elastin. Thus, here the elastin fibers that form an interconnecting network are the yellow fibers, and the collagen fibers forming dense bundles are white fibers. Thus, as we can see in the figure, the collagen fibers, which occurs in the form of bundles, are wavy and unbranched. On the contrary, the elastic fibers are arranged in a thin thread-like manner which gets branched in different means and is not arranged in the form of bundles. Moreover, the elastic fibers or the yellow fibers are comparatively more slender and few in number as compared to that of collagen or white fibers. Moreover, as it can be seen from the figure, apart from these fibers, there is a substance that is ground substance. It consists of various types of cells like mast cell, fibroblast, macrophages, and many other host cells. Out of these types of cells present in the ground substance, the most important of all is fibroblast because the proteins that is elastin and collagen forming white and yellow fibers are synthesized by fibroblast. The other type of cell is histiocytes or phagocytes. They are also known as macrophages because they have the ability to move and indigest the foreign particles and act as a detoxification substance. Thus, these type of cells act in the defensive mechanism of the body. Third is mast cell. Mast cells are irregular in shape and large in size, as it can be seen from the figure. Moreover, it contains or excretes three types of mainly substances, that is heparin, histamine and serotonin. Thus, mast cell can be characterized as irregular in shape and large size, secreting mainly three active substances, that is heparin, histamine and serotonin. Then comes another type of substance cells, that is fibroblast cell. These constitute the most important part of the cells of all the cells present in the ground substance. These type of cells secrete active proteins or enzymes like collagen and elastin, which helps in the formation of fibers. Then comes another type of ground substance, that is histiocyte, also known as macrophages. These type of cells are phagocytic in nature, that is, they are able to ingest foreign particles and thereby acts defensive in nature, and therefore they are known as macrophages. Now let us understand another type of proper connective tissue, that is adipose. This figure shows a microscopic view of the adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is almost similar to areolar tissue. Since this type of tissue also possesses pigments like white and yellow fibers, that is, possesses collagen and elastin pigment. It also possesses ground substances like macrophages, fibroblasts, but the main difference between this and areolar tissue is that it contains liquid droplets or the fat molecules. As it can be seen from the figure, there is a higher percentage of liquid droplets or fat cells, that is adipocytes. Thus, fat deposition in this type of tissue is much more than that of areolar tissue. Since this tissue possesses fat cell or adipocytes, this type of tissue is known as adipose tissue. This type of tissue is generally present in subcutaneous tissue. Thus, this type of tissue helps to conserve body from heat. Moreover, this tissue is generally present beneath the skin, in kidneys, around kidneys, and bone marrow. Now let us study about third type of proper connective tissue, that is white fibrous tissue. This figure shows the structure of white fibrous tissue under microscope. As it can be seen from the figure, this tissue comprises of protein collagen and fibroblast cell. As stated earlier, collagen protein constitute the white fibrous component, and that is why the name is white fibrous tissue. Apart from that, the ground substance consists of fibroblast cell. Here white fibers or collagen fibers are arranged compactly parallel in bundles. This type of tissue occurs in tendons which connects muscles to the bone. Thus it can be concluded that this type of tissue is generally present or functions as the tissue or the cells with great strength and flexibility. Apart from that, this type of tissues is also seen at the joint between skull bones, which help them to be immovable. Now we will study about the another type of proper connective tissue, that is tendons and ligaments. As it can be seen from the figure, tendons are the tissues that bind muscle to the bone, and ligaments help in binding joints, that is bone to bone. Tendons and ligaments both consist of strong and dense fibrous connective tissue. Thus, they contain matrix as their ground substance. where tendons consist of collagen fibers as the matrix and ligaments consist of elastin fiber as their matrix. Thus, tendons constitute the white fibers and ligaments, on the contrary, yellow fibers. Thus, in ligaments, the fibers occur in branched form and that of tendons remains unbranched. Apart from this, it also contains fibroblast cell, which is flat and elongated in tendons. On the contrary, in ligaments, it remains scattered between the fibers. Out of all proper connective tissue, the areolar and adipose tissue together combine to form loose connective tissue or are named commonly as loose connective tissue. On the other hand, the rest three other tissues, that is white fibers, tendons and ligaments, are called as dense connective tissue because their cells and fibers contains dense fibrous material which is secreted out by their cells.